Now it will be Gerhard Struber to take the reins at Bristol City, obviously after Liam Manning departing for Championship team Norwich City at the end of the season. Now obviously that was a bit of a shock to the system in terms of Bristol City and where they were, obviously achieving the best finish in numerous years to make it to the playoffs, and obviously fall short, but it seemed like a step in the right direction. Then Liam Manning leaves, possibly to do with the state of the backing in terms of the windows, the transfer windows, and who he might need for next season. Gerhard Struber is the man to take the reins, and what immediately stands out to me is his experience. Now he has managed a load of different clubs, a load of high quality clubs as well, and then he's no ghost to English football as well. He kept Barnsley up in 2019 to 2020. It was a fantastic bit of an escape. He's obviously been at New York Red Bull Salzburg. He's managed quite a lot across the Austrian Bundesliga as well. So he has got a wealth of experience, and he comes in and, maybe there are a few fans thinking that foreign managers don't work at Bristol City, which has been a bit of a bad trend. He hopes to break it though. Dan, our Bristol correspondent. Dan, what's your thoughts on Struber, where he can come in? He's got that experience in the Championship. Can he bring it forward? Can he take Bristol City forward after a fantastic season for them? Lots to build on though, and is he the right man for the role?
Well, Charles, there certainly seems to be a lot of enthusiasm at Bristol City following Gerhard Struber's appointment, both from himself and indeed from the chairman at the club, John Lansdowne. They both seem to have this vision in mind that Struber is going to not only work with the current first team really well, but also be able to interlink that with the academy and develop a lot of players coming through as well, and ultimately just have this progressive, forward-thinking vision as a club that will develop Bristol City both on and off the field. It's very good in terms of what you hear, in terms of talking the talk. Obviously now it has to be more done on the pitch in terms of walking the walk, but certainly in terms of his ethos, he's spoken a lot about wanting to be progressive as a team and play good, attractive football that will excite the supporters and also help the club create a bit of a brand and identity as well, which of course is what you want to hear as a supporter. So it's now just about putting that into practice on the training pitches and then ultimately at Ashton Gate when the new season starts. We can actually hear now from Gerhard Struber himself, who spoke following his arrival at Ashton Gate in terms of what he wants to do with the current squad and what they'd achieved last season, and building on that, as well as looking at the academy themselves, and also in terms of how he will play or get his players to play as a manager.
Yes, I think this is a very interesting group. I think they did a great job in the last season. It was very successful, and right now is so the time to build and do everything that we can build the next or go the next step with this young group.
You've got a track record of moulding a successful team of young players. How important is the development of players from the Bristol City Academy?
I think in more direction this is super important. Of course, the big responsibilities in the first team to build and develop and create results.
You've previously spoken about being an advocate for proactive play. Can you explain more about what that style means?
Yeah, I think I like it to play with a high intensity on the field, but in all phases I will have control, I will dominate the game, I will be attractive for the fans. On the same time, always to find in all phases good answers to be successful. So also to be not too much romantical. Also, I think it's important to have a pragmatical approach, and on the same time a style of play where the fans, the whole community here, and of course the team has in the end a good feeling.
Well, lots to be encouraged by there from a Bristol City perspective. Gerhard Struber certainly seems to know exactly what he wants at Bristol City in terms of creating this identity and brand at the club, interlinking everything together and ultimately playing some good football.